on Season 8, Episode 42, where we watch Wizards of Baking. Actually, we have the same Patronus, the Stallion. I'm Chris Lorenz.
How do you guys... Oh, how do you get on, guys? This is Noah Singer.
Mother of two and proud Hufflepuff. This is Max, the one to watch.
Those were quotes from this week's show. But last week, we put a poll on the summit, or we put a poll on the X, and we watched the summit. And you guys voted the show a bottom third show.
Whoo.
Woo!
Man.
With a lot more votes than we normally get. So,
damn.
Which is impressive.
That's why we got to keep up with the zeitgeist. You know, we got to keep with it.
Yeah, usually, I mean, we can look at the numbers.
Well, here's a question. Are these new people voting, are they alt-right fuckers? Because that's the only new people joining X, the Everything app.
I don't know what to tell you. Noah, what show did we watch this week?
9 teams of pastry chefs and cake artists are tasked with crafting spell-binding edible showpieces inspired by moments and themes from the Harry Potter saga. James and Oliver Phelps, otherwise known as Fred and George Weasley, bring exceptional charm and behind-the-scenes anecdotes as hosts of this magical series, joined by culinary judges Carla Hall and Joseph Youssef and more iconic Harry Potter stars. That is Harry Potter, Wizards of Baking, on Max, the one to watch.
We watched Season 1, Episode 1. Just, if I forgot to say it, I don't know.
Yeah. And also, you can get this in multiple places. Food Network Go, the Food Network channel, or Discovery Plus. I thought they got rid of Discovery Plus. I thought that was abandoned. It's just rolled up into Max.
It's still there.
Very confusing because you get all the content in Max also, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, very confusing.
All right, as you can tell, we don't really want to talk about this show.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the name. It's really lazy. Harry Potter Wizards of Baking?
Why is that
I just
crazy?
feel like there was some wordplay that was available or something. This is the laziest.
Why don't you come up with something?
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
All right. By the end of the episode, I want to hear a better show title than Wizards of Baking. I think it's
chef. It's part witch, part chef.
Well,
but people
chef.
in Harry Potter aren't really like they're witches, but you're a wizard, Harry.
you're a wizard.
You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Baker. You're a baker, Harry.
What's it called? Like
Culinary Wizards.
The Wizard. Wizard. Like, what's it called when they're in like the Quidditch championship? Like that competition. Shouldn't it be called like take that?
Oh, that's the quaffle.
I mean, Culinary Wizards, pretty good.
Culinary
I like that.
Wizards. Enchanting Bakes.
It's not my job to come up with a better name. It's their job.
All right. So this show is kind of your standard baking art challenge. So you're given a challenge, which this challenge is kind of nebulous. And you have X amount of time to finish it. And then you get judged based on not of how it looks, how it tastes. Which we'll get. I guess we can get into that. But then, yeah. Then some people make it to the next challenge. Some people don't.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely has like the typical arc, but there's a lot of atypical things and how they execute.
I was gonna say there's some innovations here, which I don't know if they're innovative, but they're innovative to me, which is saying a lot. For how many reality shows we've watched.
True.
I mean, I'd be hard pressed if there are more better qualified people to discuss this than us three.
So one of the main things that they did was they have 9 teams, but they introduced them kind of like one at a time, and they started the challenges when they were introduced. So it wasn't like 9 chefs baking at the same time, or 9 pairs of people baking at the same time. It was like 1, 2, 3, 5, like 7, and then like 9 people. Like they all kind of scattered a bit, and that was pretty good. I thought that was an interesting tactic to introduce 9 people, 9 pairs, and I think it worked out pretty well.
But okay, do we think they all had an equal amount of time to work?
Yeah.
Either way, the moment they started doing this, I was like, okay, this is one of the episodes where nobody goes home. And sure enough, nobody goes home this episode.
Wait, I thought somebody went. I thought the people that didn't make it into the thing.
Follow up. This is where I reveal that I only watched maybe 1/3 of the show. My bad.
You could have watched till the first person got kicked off. Those
Oh no, I was skipping around and I just saw kept saying the same nothingness, the same garbage. I'm a very good reviewer, guys. You should keep listening to me.
Yeah, so we'll go over who got kicked off and who didn't get kicked off. Okay, you want to know? Know? We have Team Chris and Miko. They did a Slytherin-based thing. Actually, that's my weakest note. I'm not sure what. Yeah, they did Slytherin thing, and they made it to the next round.
Are they the ones with the fountain on top?
No.
Okay.
I forget. I actually don't remember that one that well, to be honest with you. Then we got Team Johan and Kayla, and they did some sort of snitch cake, and they got eliminated. Then we got Tim, Jordan, and Zoe. This is the note that I'm not entirely sure of. They did some sort of Gryffindor thing. They made it to the next round. I'm not. A lot of these had like some sort of special, like magical moment.
Yeah.
But I didn't write all of them down.
I know when I'm baking something, I gotta have that magical moment in there. I make sure all of my cakes explode in some fun way.
I mean, it definitely went to the part where they're not like they're so over the top cakes, like someone putting a little TV inside or someone putting like a card or money shooter. It's like they're more using food as like building material rather than like functional food to eat.
Yeah, I don't like that aspect. Just bake good things.
But we've seen shows where like that's their only thing, is that they have to make something that looks interesting. Like, is it cake? Like they don't have. But this show you had to actually make things and have them tasted, which I appreciate. So like literally they would cut a piece of their like, diorama and eat it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Like they don't usually do that, from what I could tell. It's either one or the other.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like I can't put my finger on a name of another show that seems similar. I just can't recall.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure this isn't the only show that does that. But
no. But I think like one thing even with their like they definitely gave, at least in the first challenge, was like very clearly so much of it could have been crap. I'm sure it wasn't, but like they really just needed to hone in on like one piece that tasted good. So and the other ones they can just use like fondant and whatever else that's like a building material basically.
All right, let's talk about this challenge. So they had to make an edible dessert. It had to be 2 feet tall. It had to have one enchanting magical element, and each person needed to make one like edible component that they were going to be judged on. And the theme was like, what do you like about Harry Potter? Which we've gone out over some of these, which we got the Slytherin, we got like the Quidditch, we got some other ones. We have the first team was Mitzi and Lisa, and they did a Luna trolley cart.
Yep. Luna Lovejoy. And then theirs is pretty good. They had like a little like something on like a rotating disc, and the most impressive thing, they did like a Mad Magazine, like old school, like 3D glasses type thing, or I don't even know how to describe it, like invisible glasses. Like,
Well, they had like things that got revealed through glasses.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
I have no clue how you pull that off. Like, I wish I spent more time of like, here is how you create an optical illusion with sugar. It's like, what? That was amazing. And also I wish again they showed this as well. They created out of seemingly a fondant, they like screen printed Harry Potter newspaper pictures on top. I assume they didn't draw that.
They said it was like craft paper, not craft paper. They said it was some sort of like paper. Not
It was edible. Yeah. But it's like, I felt like it left some to like my like, how did you actually do that? Like are they just supplying them with props? You know, unclear. But very impressive. Mitzi is very, very talented.
Mitzi. I can't believe you remember who people are.
Yeah, there were way too many people.
There were a lot of people. Mitzi stood out. Mitzi. I don't know. You don't run into that many Mitzies.
What do you mean? All right.
You know Mitzi?
How many Mitzies do you know, Chris?
How many Ricardos do you know? How many Himus do you know?
I know so many Himus. Himu, shop like a
Juan.
millionaire.
Juan. Like, not Juan, Juan. Like, come on. You don't know you don't know all these people. And they have unique names. I don't give you that BS.
Himu, I remember as well. The Indian woman, you know, spicy chef. You know, but other people, I don't know. There's the one with the purple hair from Seattle.
How many Mikos do you know?
Mikos, oh yeah, not many. But he was at the end. He's at the end, you know.
I used to buy Pokemon cards from this Japanese shop called Miko Fancy. Does that count?
No.
Was
it spelled the same, or is it like me co-fancy?
Miko.
Yeah, so same.
Did you get a Charizard?
Yeah.
All right, so that was the first one. Do you remember the second?
The Charizard back in the day was worth $100, and I think it's still worth $100 today.
You know, with inflation, that means it's decreased.
I know. It's cheaper. All right, so we're going over the people. Let's just finish.
Let's go.
We can go over the main show. We have Team Jessica and Jamie. They did a Weasley house in a briefcase. They got eliminated. Then we've got Team Kimberly and Ashley. They did some sort of potions room.
That was very nice.
It looked
very well done. Yeah, like the potion bottles this woman made were incredible. It looked.
She made it with like molten, like sugar or something.
Yeah, they kept using this type of sugar. It had like an I in it. It was like Ico sugar or something. You guys remember that? What kind of sugar?
Sorta, yeah.
And then we got Team Michael and Connor. They did the Mirror of Erised thing, which they got voted out. They got eliminated. Yeah. But like, you knew that if somebody was going to get eliminated because the judges said something negative about them, like negative, like if they didn't say anything, you were good. If they said you were good, you were in. But if they said like, "Oh, your cake was dry," you're out.
It started to change a little bit near the end.
The last one is the only one I could consider that changed because they had two people at the end, and then they didn't eliminate either of them. And I think they did say something negative to give you the spice of drama.
Yeah, it was also really weird, like how they So generally in these shows, every team is introduced at the same time.
Yeah, we talked about this. You had gone, and I said that I liked it. Yeah. I like this where you had like one team going at once, and then like you introduce the next team later, and the next team later, and then like by the end of it, you've got them all out there, but you only started with one. It was good. I like that.
I feel like for the judges though, that makes it a little bit difficult. Right? It's not as easy. I'd say, right?
So here's the thing about the judging in this scenario. It could be so. It's showed to us like team one, you're done. Okay, now let's see if you should be eliminated or not.
Yeah,
they could have done that, but they also could have just waited till the end and then like
done it up as if it were like that.
Yeah, like they just do them all at the end and then they show it to us like they did that.
Could be. I mean,
but I do think that like there's probably I don't know. I feel like that's probably more likely the way because they're like, we need 5 teams. These are the best 5, and then let's eliminate them as they came out.
Eliminate them as they. Maybe because they also like they show certain teams on the train before. Like obviously you can edit all that, right? Like you can redo that.
You have to have the idea this is what you're going to do no matter what. Yeah, because like you could like the whole thing though I could see is you've got the one set where they're baking, and then you have the other set which is this giant train, which is like nuts. It's a baller set.
It's a baller thing. Yeah.
Do you have 2 crews, one running one set, one running the other set?
Definitely, because like putting these cakes together is a lot.
Or do you have one crew do one set, and then when they're done baking, then you go to the other set and just film, do some movie magic, and make it look like you were on both sets.
Maybe, like the whole production of this is definitely not cost efficient. Right, like you're staggering the start time, so then you have the crews got to stay there basically like 5 hours longer than they would have needed to, right? Because like you have all these people starting later.
I feel like this show is pretty cheap to film.
I mean, if you're going to compare it to other reality shows, like, well, one, you got to pay for those Harry Potter scenes, which are all over the place. Like that's
just like. That's like transfer pricing, right? Because it's all under the max umbrella.
I mean, it is under the same umbrella, but I don't think you could just use those scenes without paying like the actors. Like, is this fair use?
It is fair use under 30 seconds, I believe.
Oh,
that's why, Entertainment Tonight can post like pieces of a trailer or whatever. Although I think it's interesting that whenever they would ask people about, what's your favorite Harry Potter scene, they're sort of rebranding it as a movies first franchise and not a books first franchise. Yeah. I mean, there are scenes in books as well, but I think they heavily imply, the movies, that's Harry Potter, right, fellas? Right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I think in the public consciousness, that in the general consciousness, that is correct. The movies are the story.
Definitely for the most part. I'd say Harry Potter, out of any film franchise, gives book versus movie the best chance. Like Lord of the Rings, even much further away. Like people might know it, but they're not thinking about it. Where Harry Potter, the books were so popular, and they still are, right? Like, more of a fight.
I also know there were rumors that Warner Brothers was trying to buy the complete Harry Potter rights off J.K. Rowling because she was like making the brand toxic.
Makes sense.
So ideally for them, they're all in.
Yeah.
They definitely are. The one thing though is like this is a visual show. Like they're making visual things versus like the books is all the stuff's in your head.
Yeah.
I mean, like WB and the people casting the show know that like you need to make things look like the show, the movies, and not like whatever thing you think's up in your head, which you can do it, but like it's not. Okay. If people have a thing in their head they're going to expect.
This brings me to my next thing, which is they're gonna run out of recognizable touch point things from Harry Potter pretty soon, right? Like they already wasted the snitch on like nothing. They're gonna have repeats.
Sure.
They'll definitely have
Like
repeats.
they really played the hits here, and now they're gonna have to scrape the bottom of the barrel.
I don't think they played the hits as much as you think, right? Like, obviously, you have like Harry versus Voldemort, like not even touched on. The main characters in all these were not even touched on. Harry, Hermione, the redhead kid.
No one is
Voldemort,
taking lifelike portraits of people.
but still, but like even out
Chris,
of
they might.
everything, out of
They might.
everything, there's none of it.
I would encourage you to do that.
Yeah, like think about it. Even like in the Slytherin one, like they didn't even touch on the main Malfoy kid, right? Like I don't know. I feel like they're scratching the surface. I don't think they've taken all the content.
I agree. I think this challenge doesn't count because it was a free for all challenge. You know.
That too. Do you guys touch on how it was taped at the actual place when I had to go step aside?
No, we did not.
That was pretty cool.
Weird thing. This is the second time this studio has come up to me in the last 5 days.
What's do you tell?
The other reason is not that interesting.
You're gonna go.
No, I can explain if you'd like.
Yes, you brought it up. How do you not like?
Yeah, no, it's not that interesting. I don't want to get into it.
Now you made this whole big ordeal when you could have just said it. And it
Are you like in 7th grade? No. I don't really like. No. What is it?
My cousin, who is in the film industry, is married to somebody who is filming something or planning something currently at these studios.
That's cool.
And is this a studio in LA or in London?
It's London.
It's outside London. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing I found interesting, and I don't know if they just put it up for the like some exterior shots, but I definitely was under the impression this was not a like functional film studio for the most part. It like the exterior shots made it seem like this is where we filmed Harry Potter, and now it's preserved as like a place to tour Harry Potter. Even though it looked massive, I was confused by like the signage. But I guess that's incorrect. It is functional.
It's where they're going to film the next Harry Potter.
There's a next one?
They're remaking it.
Seriously?
Yeah, supposedly they're making it as a TV show now.
In 2026, I think.
Like, really? For Max?
From the start. Yeah, for really. And I encourage this because the movies are garbage and they should feel bad.
Some of the movies are not garbage. Some of the books are not that dense and work as a movie, and many of them don't.
The earlier ones work as movies, but they don't. Well, along with the books, I encourage them to, because the movies were being made before the books were fully out. And before J.K. Rowling wrote the earlier books, before she knew what the end was going to be. So now you can go through and put the hints to the ending at the beginning, and it'll be great. And you could actually functionally tell what's going on if you just watch the television show. Whereas, like, I 100% believe you have no idea what the story is if you just watch the movies. Like, you understand the grand scheme of things, but, like, you don't understand the Snape storyline and, like, and the Dumbledore storyline, and a bunch of things just gets cut out because they didn't know it was important. And it's just like, I can't watch the movies because they're no good.
Damn. I mean, do you think Harry Potter, I'm assuming it's like top 3, maybe top 5, like entertainment franchise? It's got to be up there, right?
Top in terms of what? Money made?
Yeah.
No. Franchise?
No, I think number 1 is Pokemon.
Let's see. You're right. Number 1 is Pokemon. I'm looking at it on Wikipedia. So we got
Hello
Pokemon.
Kitty, maybe? Dragon? No, One Piece.
In order. We got Pokemon way ahead of everyone. Way ahead. they're closing in on $100 billion. Then you have Mickey Mouse at number 2.
Sure. Yeah.
60 billion. Not even close. That's
Yeah.
like not even. That's crazy how much more Pokemon is.
I'm also confused by Mickey Mouse. Like, Mickey Mouse is not a thing as an adult.
No, Chris, you've never heard of a Disney adult?
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, as a kid, they have kids shows.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon has like kids shows and kid games, but like I know adults that still like Pokemon. No one is watching the toddler Mickey Mouse show, but there's no other Mickey Mouse shows.
Consider every child in America must attend a $1,000 trip to Disneyland.
Yeah, but that doesn't equal Mickey Mouse. That's a Disneyland thing.
I agree. Mickey Mouse as a brand is crazy.
Yeah.
What about the Daffy Duck brand?
Yeah, you're
so included in his valuation is technically Mickey and Friends. So that includes Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy. And then probably like Bluto, like some of those like.
Okay. That makes a little more sense because I've definitely seen a lot of paraphernalia with those people on it. Not Mickey Mouse. Not so much Mickey Mouse.
So he's number 2. Then you got coming in number 3, Winnie the Pooh.
That's surprising, but not that surprising.
I'm a little surprised at that. Number 4, Star Wars. Number 5, Disney Princess as their own thing. Established in 2000. Then number 6, something I've never heard of. Anpanman.
Oh, Anpanman. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a superhero that's a small piece of bread. Hence the pan.
Is it French or something?
Japanese.
I know it's Japanese.
Loan word.
Yeah. And then coming in at number 7. They don't even call it Harry Potter on Wikipedia. They call it Wizarding
Worlds.
Yeah, which I'm like, what?
I get it. How did this like mediocre, like let's be honest, it's a mediocre book series, turns into like mediocre movies, get the global term for Wizarding World. Like, what is this?
I mean, I think it's hard to say it's mediocre when it's by far the most popular magic thing ever created.
Many popular things are mediocre.
Well, it's fair. I mean, depends what. Yes, maybe you can call it mediocre, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it. I'll say that.
I'm just laughing at myself, guys. Don't worry about it.
Chris, in a better world, a Wizard of Earthsea would be number 1. But
if you haven't read that book, if you like Harry Potter, read Wizard of Earthsea. It's amazing.
So yeah. That's the top 7. So 5 out of the top 7 are owned by Disney. Then you have Anpanman and Harry Potter,
which is why they're remaking it.
Yeah,
so hard to believe.
But like basically, Pokemon is then probably like what Disney's going to try to go buy. Like, just buy.
I wish them luck.
Not going to happen.
You don't think so? The Pokemon
it's too much
company?
of a cash cow.
Disney. I don't think Disney has a lot of money on hand at this point, and you'd have to buy Nintendo.
No, you don't need money on hand. Just issue stock.
No, I'm not saying you need money in hand. I'm saying you have to buy Nintendo, which isn't going to sell.
Well, no, you need to buy the Pokemon company, which is that seems to be the joint venture between Nintendo. Probably has some meaningful share of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to buy Nintendo.
You got to start buying companies that own shares in Pokemon, which is like Game Freak and Nintendo.
Yeah, Game Freak, yeah. Game Freak.
Which you might be able to buy Game Freak, but when you are the $60 billion company, like you have money, like you're worth something. You can't just be bought. Like you're gonna have to pony up some money for that.
Yeah. I mean, clearly they are crushing.
You're not losing money on Pokemon. Like it's just like impossible.
Seemingly.
All right. Let's get back to the show. Let's talk about the remaining 2 pairs of people we haven't gone over. We've got Team Ricardo and Himu. They did a Whomping Willow thing. It looked really good. I thought this was one of the better ones initially because it's one of the earlier ones. They had like a moving spider, which I don't know how the fuck they did that.
Really? It seemed pretty clear to me. That actually like made sense.
What did they do?
So he had like a little electronic spider that had like a flat back, basically, and he put like a truffle on top of the flat back.
So it wasn't an edible spider in any way.
Half of it was edible.
Okay. I was just expecting it to be edible. The only thing in here should have been edible.
Yeah. Actually, so sorry, this is going back a tangent. The Pokemon Company, for one of their recent fiscal quarters, they only threw off $500 million of profit. Like, relative, like, that type of, I would have thought they'd have more healthy, like,
you expect consistent profit instead of spiky profit, perhaps.
maybe it is spiky. Yeah, maybe I was like looking up a random quarter.
Because I think the video games are still the ones that really print money. They sell in the millions.
I don't think so. I don't think the video games
they're
are
at
not
a 33% profit margin, which is definitely good. I would have thought it'd been like bulkier.
I don't agree. I think it's easier. You make more money on trading cards and like stuffed animals and all that stuff. The video games is just to get your kids addicted to it, to buy the other stuff. It's like those just like classic microtransactions. Like it's not NBA 2K doesn't make, he makes way more money on the microtransactions than it does on the $60, intro fee or whatever to buy the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely close to like big tech. Actually, no, they're right in line with their profit margin. I think I just would have thought they make more money. Just thought they'd make more.
All right. Our last pair, finally, 30 minutes into this. Team Juan and Elizabeth. They did a Patronus, which was obviously the stallion, obviously. They have the same Patronus, obviously. Max and I obviously have the same Patronus.
Yeah.
What's yours?
I don't know. I don't have a fucking wand. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Mine's an Okapi.
That's a good one. That is a very good one. I'm surprised you don't know your Patronus.
As a kid, it would have been a Fennec Fox. I was a big Fennec Fox fan. So maybe it's still a Fennec Fox.
Ooh, that's a good one too. It's a very good one. I will tell you after I complete this BuzzFeed quiz. Yeah,
obviously, like this is a ridiculous statement. No one batted an eye. Everyone said it was serious. Feel like it was in Bizarro Land, just like I feel when I watch politics all the time. It's just like in Bizarro Land.
Yeah, I like that. Every time the people are done cooking, the twins would go "Arresto Momentum." I don't even know if that's a real spell. I assume it is, but it just sounds like some like oddly placed fake Latin in this. Arresto Momentum.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that for a second. The host is the Weasley twins, James and Oliver Phelps, which I think they did a decent job.
Yeah, they did good.
If anything, I was kind of taken aback by how old they are compared to the movies.
Oh, I mean,
the movies are old.
I know. I get it. I don't like to be reminded of the passage of time.
Okay. That's fair. And then we have judges Carla Hall and Joseph.
I like that name. Such a good name.
Joseph. And it's unclear what these people's qualifications are. Wasn't gone over. Don't know.
So
I'm not sure I really care.
Carla Hall, she's got bona fides, as they would say. 5th and 8th season of Top Chef. She was on it. She co-hosted The Chew for a little bit. Everyone knows The Chew.
Oh, we've done that so many times on the podcast. The chew.
So yeah, she's on Top Chef. I think more interesting is actually her non-cooking background. Kind of fascinating. So she went to Howard University, like great school, got a business degree. She worked at Price Waterhouse Coopers as a CPA, and she was a model in Paris and Milan prior to
Okay.
being a chef. Like, pretty impressive, like doing all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a resume.
It's a
Yeah.
life. That's a life. You're good
Pretty
now.
good.
You don't need it anymore. You're good.
She was good. Yeah.
And there's also they kind of, I don't remember who did what, but some of them said that they've won some sort of Food Network shows before.
Yeah.
Some of the people on the show.
I thought that was pretty cool that they didn't try to hide that like this is like the challenge for cooking, and it's just like you might remember me from, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I do find it kind of weird. So like every time we watch these shows, where like it's a cooking show, I always talking about LOP, the level of play. So like the LOP for like baking and like doing all these cooking shows, there's like me to like being on what's that garbage Netflix show? Making it.
Is it cake?
No,
nailed it. You're thinking of nailed it. Yeah.
You got nailed it, and then you got all the way up at the top, you got Iron Chef, right? And like this show definitely, I feel like, is closer to the top of the bracket, I feel, for some of the things, and they just cut the shaft. But like, why do we have the shaft here to begin with? Why are we eliminating, how many people did we eliminate? 2 or 3 people? I think we eliminated 3 people. 3 out of 9. Like
teams. Yeah.
Just like, what are we doing here? 3 teams, that's a lot to eliminate.
Yeah.
And like they were eliminated for a reason. It's not like, I feel like their level of play was lower than the rest of the people's level of play. Like everyone that went on was like, that's pretty good. And everyone that went off was like, yeah, I can see it. But they filmed and edited it that way. So we're like, what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah.
No comments on level of play. Got it.
Well, I Noah, you were gone for this. I did not watch all of the episode. I may have skipped around after the first 1/3.
Well, I mean, I get a little like when you say level of play, like I'm actually confused a little bit of like exactly what that means. Can you
just explain?
How skilled are they?
So it's how skilled. Okay, so it's their talent level for this competition.
Nailed it to Top Chef. Like what your skills as of like how qualified are you to be on nailed it here.
I see.
And then Top Chef, you got to be this good. You got to be like top of the top.
Yeah.
And like the dishes you're making with foie gras and you know duck feet and like I don't know what else you're gonna random shit you're gonna cook with.
And you don't think they're that good? Good?
What I'm saying is there's like a level of like how good they are. And they cut the teams that weren't good and they cut 3 of them. Yeah. I just don't, and like now we've increased the level of play like a whole degree, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right.
I also wonder if the next challenges might be a little more structured.
I hope so. But I also, getting to Max's point here, is why is the show goddamn hour and 20 minutes? There just isn't enough to show in an hour and 20 minutes. There just isn't. Like
the moment I was like 20 minutes in and I clicked to see how much was left and I was like, there's no way that's right. That's when I just gave up. That's when I started scrolling. Like, don't waste my time.
Yeah, it was. I really thought it was like some kind of like typo when I saw it was an hour and a half episode. Like I thought, oh, maybe that's like the series length, but like it seems weird. Like I just couldn't understand it. It didn't.
At least for an hour and 20 minutes, it kicked off 3 people, right? Yeah, that's more than most shows.
Yeah, that's true. They they did hold the high bar, which is good. They held
All
the
right.
bar.
Who's the worst human being? Do we have an example?
I think it's George Weasley.
Is he the one that doesn't make it, or is it the other one?
I don't really remember. He may be the older brother that brings in a Hungarian dragon.
I'm gonna go with Voldemort.
Voldemort it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So Mac didn't technically watch the whole show, but he did watch 20 minutes. And what speed do you think he watched the show at? Noah, what do you think?
I think if he was watching it at a fast speed, he would have finished it. Because just like, just keep it going. It's going so fast. And so it's 1x. It's a 1xer.
I'm going to go, I really want to go with like an 8x. But I don't think they don't go up to 8x. So I'm going to go to 2.71.
Yeah. I would have, wait, before you said, I would have agreed with you, Chris, that it was just max. Whatever max is, he's going to max.
The maximum speed.
Yeah. But because now I have this other information of, well, he didn't, he only watched a little bit. 1x.
What do you got, Max?
Chris, you were so close. It was largely at 2.6x.
Oh, I was really close.
Man.
You would be amazed how completely listenable the first minute of the show is because the announcer is saying things so slowly.
Damn.
And yeah, I couldn't stand it for 8 minutes, and I certainly couldn't stand it if I watched it for the real time 20 minutes.
Tangent for 1 second. I have this Bob's Burgers is playing next to me, and
you like that burger? Yeah,
Bob's Burgers. And Gene just found a smart toilet. Great episode. You should find that episode. Anyway, drinking rules for this show. I don't even know what a good drinking rule for this show would be. Noah, save me.
Yeah, I got you. Every time there's some magic sprinkled in, magically finish your drink.
Is that anytime there's CG, they insert CG?
You get to use magic to your discretion.
Okay. Max, you got one?
Every time they show something from the movies and you point at the screen and say, "Oh my God, I remember that. I love Harry Potter and Harry Potter product." Take a sip of butterbeer.
Drink anytime the Weasley twins end up in a scene.
Ooh, yeah. Every time you watch and you're like, wow, that's a long time ago. Drink some of your Ensure.
Anytime you're like, ooh, I like that part in Harry Potter too. Take a drink. Do you guys ever play the game where you put a mustache on the TV and then you drank every time the mustache aligned up with somebody's face?
No siree.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
I used to like to use Snapchat filters to just watch TV shows, but with mustaches automatically applied.
That's a fun one. I like that.
That would have been a good with this one.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other question? Would this show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok? Or a regular 30-minute show, or regular 60-minute show, or 90-minute show?
I think this show would be better off at the bottom of the ocean.
Ooh. Bottom of the ocean.
Harsh.
Damn.
I think 60-minute version of the show would have been better.
Ooh.
That's where I'm going to go with 60 minutes. Cut the cruft.
It would certainly be an improvement.
Max is like, TikTok. Cut everything.
Don't stop.
Just let me swipe away from this show. Noah's got no opinion.
No, I mean, I'm not as negative in the show as you guys are. Like I actually had a different takeaway. Like this show, I watched it in 2 sittings. I was like, wow, this moved faster than I thought it did. Now it doesn't seem to be a popular opinion, but that was kind of my feels.
I just want to point out that I hate this type of reality show. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like baking. I don't like tasting food on reality shows. I don't like watching people make weird things out of food. Not that we really did that. We just kind of watched people in a kitchen.
Right.
Like we did nothing. This might be one of the worst shows like we've ever watched. Like it's so silly. It's at 120 minutes. Are you insane?
It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Whatever. An hour, 20 minutes? Insane. It's
still far too much.
It's way too long. There's my rating. Bottom of the bottom. Terrible.
Insane in the brain.
Max, what do you got for me?
I agree with you that I don't really like this format. I don't hate all cooking shows. Top Chef, I think, or I forget if it's Master Chef or Top Chef. Just one of those is good. I think it's Top Chef.
Top Chef is the competition where there's like 14 people.
Yeah.
Like, Master Chef is like 3 people.
Okay, so Top Chef. Top Chef is good. This is not Top Chef. This is advertising. This is brain rot.
Whoa.
You have better places to spend your time. So this is going to be a middle third, top of... No, I'm kidding. Bottom third, middle of the bottom. At least the stuff they made was better than the fucking pumpkin garbage.
I see what you did there, Max.
I just want to be clear. I've seen a whole season of Top Chef, which I have not seen a lot of whole seasons of other shows we've watched.
Yeah.
And like Top Chef definitely has more to it than like it's definitely better than like the 3 people cooking show. Like I definitely don't like those kind of shows. But like because there's a lot more human component and a lot more like, well, they won't like you can get into it. There's more going on.
I think Top Chef is wonderful.
Wonderful. Just like you thought about this show, Noah. What did you think of this show?
Goddamn wonderful. Come on. No, so this show's fine. Again, y'all are like negative Nancy's on this, but despite the Nancy's coming out to play, I think the show is fine. Do I think it's amazing? No. But I think the judging was actually pretty good on this. They really had some specific critiques. I think they could go through it a bit quicker. I actually thought it moved for its insane length, and I'd be kind of interested to see how this progresses because you can see good talent, good judging. I just want to taste the food. I want the food.
Well, Noah, we're gonna hold you to that. You're gonna have to keep us updated on how the show goes.
We'll see. So this is a middle show, top of the middle. Is it top? No, but it's solid. I think if you like the cooking, I think if you like the Potter, give it a shot. Christopher, bring us home. Bring it home.
I hate you.
Nice.
I hate this show.
Wonderful.
Chris, do you wish you skipped around the show like me?
I'm going to be honest. I watched it while I was doing other things.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I was taking notes. I took a lot of notes. One note I didn't mention was the green fire for the intros was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool.
You ever fuck around with Bunsen burners in 7th grade and you put different salts on top and it has different colors?
Yeah.
Did you ever make water bottles explode with dry ice?
Nope.
Because I did that.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. Anyway, what else has everyone watching? Any other recommendations? Noah?
Yeah. I started The Jackal. I'm not sure if that's the full name, but it's on Peacock. Very good. Very enjoyable so far. I'm on episode 3. I'd quite recommend.
I've read the books it's based off of.
No, or
no.
Max, you have any shout outs?
Me?
Yeah, you. Any other
Um, not particularly. Have I talked about Dune Prophecy yet?
No.
I saw episode 1. I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah.
But episode 2 is out, and I'll give it a whirl.
Hmm.
I have a question. I have
Yeah.
a
Hey,
question for you, Max. How many episodes do you think it takes for Star Trek The Next Generation to get good?
ooh, that's a really tough one, Chris. I'm not sure it truly gets good before season 2.
So, like, I just want to point that out. There's 20, how many episodes? 24 episodes of television for Star Trek.
I don't think I ever would have given TNG the time of day if I did not have a overwhelming chorus and personal experience saying there are some truly great episodes. You just have to tough it through this.
Yeah. I've been watching Silo. Silo is back.
Oh
Season
yeah,
two.
I liked Silo S2E1.
Season 2, episode 1 was great. I have not watched episode 2 yet. So, that's my shout out this week.
Shimmy shout.
Next week, we're going to go with another max hit, Hamsters versus Humans.
I will say I saw a little clip of this and it looks entertaining.
Oh.
So we're going to find out next week how entertaining Hamsters versus Humans is. Hopefully, it's not an hour 20 minutes because that's going to be rough.
I mean, it's got a 7.4 on IMDb at the moment.
Damn, out of 100?
But
All right, tell us what you thought about this show on X at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com.
email.
Chris, you got to snag whoputthison.bsky.app.
I don't have whoputthison.bsky.app.
You got to snag it.
Snag it.
Okay, all right. I'll snag
Snag
it
it.
for you. Just for you. All right. Bye.
Later.
Later.